Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to Boss Rush After Dark, the alternative podcast show for the Boss Rush Network. It's your boy, LeRon here, back with Stephanie Klimov and Corey Derrig. I don't know why I paused like that, I forgot you guys' names or whatnot. But hey, welcome back, guys. How's it going?
It's okay.
It's going.
You can call me whatever you want. That's fine.
Big Daddy C.
My daughter calls me Big Beluga.
Boss
Because
Daddy.
because that's what she watches a lot of Bluey, and they call
Bluey.
They call the dad the Big Beluga, so she calls me that.
Big Beluga. So cute.
Oh, well, it's our favorite night of the week again. How you guys doing? You guys hanging in there?
Yep, doing great. When
I would say I'm hanging in there, but you know, like it's not the best of hangs.
look, here's the thing, LeRon. If you lived closer, I would give you a hug.
Thanks, because I feel like I need all the hugs right now. Like I'm not gonna
Virtual hug.
Oh, I'm not gonna get too deep into it, but I'll just say this much, you know, like everybody out there, just if you stop and take a moment, look around. You're bigger than all of your demons that are trying to like pull you down or just trying to like just completely like overwhelm you and stuff like that. Just know like there's things that are always better once you take a look at the other side of this perspective, and that's really it, you know. And also for people that, you know, you have friends or family that are going through things, you know, like, you know, nope. You can't always see every sign, but there's usually a clue that something's going on, and always just be on the lookout for that, because you never want to have someone slip under the cracks or get you know, washed out to sea, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say without, you know, like really like, you know, like getting personal, you know, because I mean, I'm having a week. Let's just put it this way. Let's just put it that way. I'm having a week, and I'm just glad we're here for Wednesday night.
This would be one of those weeks where I would come over and hang out and stay just to make sure that you were okay.
Yeah, we'd probably be playing some Mario 3D World
Or Monster Hunter.
Yeah, there's that.
You'd have to play your Switch though. 'Cause I want the Steam Deck.
Come on, be like more of my cool friends and are playing the Steam version.
Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak is on sale on the Switch, though. Not that I'm going to buy it because I already have it on Steam, but...
Yeah, okay, so usually what happens is it goes on sale on Steam for a little bit, then it goes back up to full price, and when it's on full price on Steam, it's on sale on Switch, and it's tag teaming. It's weird. Like it's like they can't be on sale in both places at the same time for some strange reason.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like that with a lot of things. Like it'll be on sale one place and not the other. And then you turn around and buy a game for full price on the console, and then the next week it's like $15
on Game Pass
or
on sale. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I mean, it's, I don't know. It's a vicious cycle in the industry. You know, it's one of those things where it's almost like you know how people look for opportunities to get rich. It's kind of like that now, where people look for opportunities to get the games like as cheap as possible.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, hey, you got to be wise about your money, but at this point, I'm just like, if it's something I really want, like I genuinely want, which is a difference between my knee-jerk reaction of just buy everything, but if it's something I really want, I'll just put the money in and just buy it when I'm ready to play it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyways. Well, LeRon,
yes.
I hope you and your situation gets better.
Yeah, so do I. I mean,
because I've been thinking about it a lot the last couple.
The crazy part is like it's only going to go one of two ways, and I'm hoping it goes the one way and not the other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I've been thinking about you the last couple days, and
thanks. Life is beating my ass right now. But also like if you are, but just know that that out there like there's hope and there's help for you if you're dealing with depression or having suicidal ideations and things like that. Just know that there's hope for you, and also that if you have people who you even remotely consider your friends, they can always be there to help you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And now I guess everybody's gonna be sitting back listening to this episode of Boss Rush After Dark and like, oh my God, is LeRon suicidal? What's happening? What changed in his life? Is it because Advance Wars 1 and 2 reboot camp didn't get announced last week?
Oh.
I couldn't help myself.
Nah, I don't know when that's gonna be, when that release date's coming at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well. It is what it is.
Look, they have big holes to fill in February and March. That's my guess. Not that that helps, but that would be my guess. That would mean it would be delayed like a whole year.
Now, you want to know something that definitely lifted my mood, and I'm actually still thinking about it right now, Corey.
What?
I'm thinking about that picture that you showed your daughter drew. Like that was the most. That was the sweetest, most. That was the sweetest, most wholesome thing I've seen in a while.
Yeah. Oh, I want to. Oh, well, I don't feel like getting up, but you know what my son drew?
What's that?
So we were at church. Normally I just go by myself, but timing, whatever, I had him, and I'm like, we're going. He was good. I always brings like either his Pokemon cards or something to color. Like I have zero expectations of having him pay attention in mass, and he's always good. Like I'm really lucky. He doesn't raise hell. No pun intended. He was drawing, and I noticed he was drawing the cross, probably because he saw it above the altar. So like he's drawing what he sees. Okay, cute, whatever. I look away. I look back. He's drawing Jesus on the cross, and he wrote a word bubble, and it said "help."
Oh my!
I'm like,
so funny.
I just started laughing. He's like, he needs someone to help him get off. I'm like, that's true.
God, so funny.
It's like funny, but morbid, but cute. Like it's a weird. I don't know how to feel about it.
To be fair, enough time has passed since. I mean,
right?
Nobody's
But like, I don't know what people will like. Just help. Like, okay.
Aside from the 60% of the world that believes in Christianity, it's been enough time.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you're precious.
I mean, you still appreciate a good joke, though.
Yeah. God, good jokes. I like good jokes. I followed this. Speaking of good jokes, and by good jokes I mean terrible jokes. I followed this Instagram account it's called Disney Dad Jokes.
This is already gonna be bad.
And they're really terribly funny. Also, I started following this Instagram account. I forget what it's called, but it's just called the Poop Word of the Day. And it's this little toilet paper puppet that says, "And now here's your poop word of the day." And then like he'll just say something like, hold on, let me see. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna play it because it's really funny.
If he follows like Disney dad jokes, you must follow just the regular dad jokes one on Instagram.
Yeah, hold on, let me see. Okay, so nope.
Yikes.
No, that.
Here is your poop word of the day. Instead of saying you're going to go take a poop, say you're going to go charm a colon cobra.
What?
And there's a new video every day. Like it's every day. And so like I'll wait a couple days, and if I'm feeling kind of like down or like stressed out or whatever, I'll just flip on like 3 or 4 of those, and I start cracking up, and it just goes away.
Gotta do whatever it takes.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny. And my wife just like, I show my wife, my kids think it's hilarious, and then my wife just looks at me like, "You're an idiot. How old are you?" You're 12. And I'm like, yes. Because guess what? Poop jokes are still funny. Almost 40 years.
Charm the colon snake.
The Instagram account, by the way, is hold on. It's the Toily, TheToiley. So, shout out to the toilet. He also this toilet paper roll also streams on Twitch too. I've never watched a Twitch stream, and I don't know what they stream, but it's funny. It's just funny. Cheers me up. There's also other videos on this account too, where he like goes and talks about like there's a video of him looking at a car or something. It's just I don't know. It's really funny. That's it. This is what I do in my limited free time.
Hey, at least you're enjoying yourself while you do it.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
So, you know what? Before we get into it, because I kind of primed you guys last week that I had a question for you guys because y'all are parents and I'm not a parent. So yeah. So before we tackle into this, Corey, you want to go ahead and shout out our patrons?
Yeah, if you want to support Boss Rush After Dark and the rest of our shows on Patreon, or if you want to support us directly, you can head over to our Patreon, patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. It is a monthly subscription service where you can support your favorite creators. For $1, you get After Dark 2 weeks early alongside 4 other shows, as well as Boss Rush Podcast, Expansion Pass, Standard Def, and Talk the Walk. But also, if you want to be a Patreon producer, you can subscribe at the $5 tier. And for this episode, the Patreon producers are as follows: Adriel Munger, Celeste Roberts, my wife, Sana Dierig, Francisco Santillan, Rebecca Jewell, and Prince Unsmooth Toes. I want to thank all of our Patreon producers. I want to thank all of our patrons. I want to thank all of our free listeners. Remember, all of our content remains free. We just give you some perks for subscribing. If you do listen on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please leave us a 5-star rating and review. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, share, like, hit the bell, all those things. Yeah.
All right. Cool. We definitely appreciate you guys. All right, so here we go. Hopefully you guys. I never actually like gave you the preview of the question, so here it is, and I don't think it's gonna like throw you guys off or anything. But as y'all are raising your kids and stuff like that, are there moments when you seen or witnessed your kid doing something, and you're either like, there is hope for humanity after all, or it's just something that you knew you're on the right path of raising like a good human being?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be hard to top the Jesus on the cross saying help.
Well, yeah.
I mean, talk about being a humanitarian. I'll say that.
Oh yeah. Just a few that come to mind. Yesterday he called me, from his father's work, and he said, I love you so much, Mommy. I will always marry you. Like he's at the age where he doesn't, get it. Like he wants to marry his mom. Sure, okay, it's cute. It's cute. It won't be cute if he keeps saying it, but it's cute now. He's 6. Everyone, just so y'all know. And he goes, I will even marry you if you say the F word. I will still marry you even if you say the F word. I'm like, okay, thank you.
Oh, he sounds like that Bruno Mars song. You're perfect just the way you are.
Oh yeah, he's said stuff like, I'll always love you no matter what. You can always call me your baby. And as far as hope with humanity, I think I've gave this example before, so I'm sorry if it's repetitive, but it's probably like the easiest example was when I had I get quarterly, like, not pesticide treatment, but like pest control comes and just does a walkthrough and stuff. And they put the sign like, don't walk on the lawn for a day or something.
Yeah.
And my son asked me, like, no, my son like started to go on the lawn. I said, please don't step on the lawn. And he goes, why? I said, look at that sign. Someone came to put something on the grass so bad bugs will stay away. It'll kill the bad bugs. And he looks at me and goes, you're going to kill the good bugs too. I'm like, he goes, you're going to kill all the bees. And I had nothing to say.
Yeah.
Nothing to say.
Well.
So he's very environmentally conscious. When other kids are hurt, he actually seems to show empathy. When his best friend fell and actually had to get stitches, he told me because I guess in the classroom there's like if you're worried or anxious, there's a corner and you have like specific toys that you play when you're worried or anxious. And he goes, "Mommy, today I had to take some time out and go to the worry corner and play with the worry toys because I was worried about my friend who got a big boo-boo and I was worried about him."
Aw.
Hmm.
Aw.
Yeah, my daughter is like that too, but also she like tries to murder my son every day. So, but it's like it's one of those things where like only she's allowed to beat him up, nobody else is, because like when my nephews are around and like they're being, I mean they're 9 and 7, so they're bigger, and if they're a little bit more rough than they should be, like she'll like stand up and try to protect them or whatever, which is super cute, right? And she's always really sympathetic and stuff for kids at school, but like man, she'll kick him, she'll push him down, she'll drag him around the house by his hair, and like we have to like
Oh.
chase her
Wow.
and like yeah, it's like it's gotten better. It's gotten a lot better, but man, there was a period where she would just like we had to like keep them apart because she would like anytime he was around, she would like hit him or push him or it's especially bad when he has one of her toys too, because she'll
Oh
like,
yeah. Oh, she hasn't learned the sharing phase yet.
yeah, she's yeah, it's interesting. So but she's really good at school, and she's always like the one thing she doesn't do though is clean up after herself. Like she refuses to clean up after herself. Even at school, like that was the one thing the teacher said she had to work on was like, when she's done playing with toys, she needs to clean up. And we were like, yeah, no, we know that. We get it.
Well, you definitely seem like you're gonna have a strong young woman when
Yeah.
she grows older, and that's awesome.
Yeah, which
That's hope for humanity there.
Yeah, I mean that's what we want. It's just like getting her to know when to do these things and when not to.
Oh, here's oh, damn it. I took a picture of it. I don't know if I can.
I can.
Help.
Oh, the help is all big too.
That's so funny.
So speaking of like raising a strong girl, like gender obviously is not a big deal to me. Obviously, or not obviously, I don't know, but it's not. But when people would say like, "Oh, would you want to have a boy or a girl?" And I would say I probably would have wanted a boy, not for the reasons people might think because of like my Asian lineage or anything, but the two reasons. And if I had a girl, wouldn't have made a difference. Just saying, is I was a tomboy as a kid, so I would think I would just be able to relate to the child better. And selfishly, I would hate to play dolls and dress up and all that gross stuff. B, I want the opportunity to raise a proper, like, we need better men out there. There's in the older generations a lot of toxic masculinity, a lot of sexism, misconduct. Like, I want the opportunity to raise, like, just not reinvent. Like, I just want to restore faith in just like when I say male gender, like I know things are different now, right? There's gender fluidity and sex versus gender. Like you can have a male or female sex, but gender identity is another thing. But I'm just saying, just in general, I want to be able to raise a good man. Well, if he chooses to continue to be a man, I should probably say that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like we're trying to like really not do the whole like my son has been like carrying around like he'll play with like trucks and stuff right on the ground, but like he'll also play with my daughter's dolls and stuff, and we're trying to like not say no, those are girl toys, or no, those are boy toys for my daughter, right? Like we're trying to just let them figure it out, because we don't want to discourage that, right? So, but it's it's kind of funny because my daughter has this little makeup kit, and she tried to put makeup on my son the other day.
That's cute.
And she like wasted all the good colors, so that all that was left was like this blue and green, like these just colors that would be like I don't know, like you have to have like something very specific to wear that would go with these colors, right? It's just, man, it's just funny. And then he started chewing on the one of the brushes, and then we were like, yeah, let's probably put that
Ooh.
away.
Yeah. Well, that's it's he got some fiber.
Yeah.
Another thing, except I can't take any credit for. I don't think so. I don't think I could really take credit for raising him in a certain way. But he loves his animals. He loves Paxil and Lusa. Like, not just likes them like, oh, we have cats, cool. Like, he loves going up to them and snuggling with them and holding them, and he like uses his oddly high-pitched voice and just, I don't know, like baby talks to them.
Oh.
My best friend's staying with me for a while, and she has a smaller dog, and he's just so kind to them. So I'm like, good, he's kind to animals, so odds of him being a serial killer are shrinking. So I will say, I do, on the flip side, I am terrified of whether or not I'm doing the right thing as a parent, because I grew up with very strict, very, very strict, authoritarian parenting. I want to marry the two binary parenting styles. Like, I do believe in strict discipline, probably more than your average American, but at the same time, I'm not looking to traumatize my child into thinking they have to apologize to everyone, that they're not good enough, that if they're not successful in their career, that means they're a failure. For me, is I want to build or help cultivate a good human being, number one. And
Yeah.
then success will fall in place afterwards, because I don't know, I just feel like you can always find a way to be successful in some aspect, but your intrinsic good nature, like once you've grown and developed a personality, that's very difficult to change.
That's true. Yeah.
And I feel bad. Like, I don't know what kind of planet Earth we're gonna leave him and other kids of his generation when I get older. Like, I almost want to apologize to him. Like, I'm sorry, man. Like, by the time you get older, maybe some parts of the world will be underwater because of global warming, or who knows what next psychopath takes over goodness knows what country, or what awful, like, I don't know. I don't want to get too depressing. It's just, I struggle with a lot of these things because I see so much innate goodness in this child. I'm not saying my child is better than the other children out there. I mean, just children in general have an innate goodness. But when I see Nikolai, like, in action, showing empathy, something that we're all starved for, I'm like, how can I keep this flame from being snuffed out?
Oh yeah, I hear you. Yeah. It's weird, you know. Like as you guys know, like I'm pushing 50, you know, and there's days when I wonder, like, you know, like if the window of opportunity, you know, for kids is just a done deal for me. Even though if I have a kid right now, like if I have a kid right now, like that kid would be grown and out the door before like I'm.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's scary.
Right? It's get in touch with your own mortality.
Yeah, that's scary. But I mean, still. But you know what? You know, the one thing I can say for sure is, like, you know, like I feel like if I were to have a kid right now, I could still hang. You know,
Yeah.
as far as like being able to be a parent. You know, like being able to, like, you know, like to like run and be rough and tumble with them. You know, stuff like that. You know, be able to entertain them and stuff like that. I think it's still in the cards. I think it's still in the cards for me if I were to have kids. But you know, like I guess I need to like make a decision on if I'm going to do that anytime soon. Especially because I have a funny feeling my mom has been waiting for me to have kids. Well, I know she's been waiting for me to have kids, but she, over the years, she kind of stopped saying stuff, and eventually, like, my cousins and stuff have started having kids and stuff, and I can tell she's starting to get that itch.
Oh,
And
I mean, has this something that's been more recently on your mind? Like, I'm just curious what made you think of this topic too.
Actually, well, I think I've said it before. Like I love watching children like grow and develop and become, like, you know, like adult human beings and stuff like that. You know, I love seeing it and stuff like that. And, you know, there's days There's days when I wonder, like if I had kids, would I be sitting up there looking at my spouse and like, what? How do we want it with such an asshole for a kid? Yeah, stuff like that, or even vice versa. Like wow, like this kid's gonna go and do big great things, stuff like that. It's weird, um, and I don't know, like I'm just all up in my feels about maybe having kids and passing along some type of genes or something. Even if I just wind up adopting, I wouldn't really pass genes that way, but like maybe I could pass like a good drive and determination, or just the ideals of what being a good human being is about.
Exactly. The sad part is I really don't think that enough people that would raise great children are having children. Not that it's a judgment or whatever, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like there are a lot more people that probably shouldn't be having kids. Those kind of people are having more kids than. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, I know. I know, because like, yeah, there's some people, like, you don't want to just label or judge somebody, but there's people you can look at and be like, yeah, this person should not have been having kids, at least at this point in their life and stuff like that.
Right. Exactly.
And then there's other people that like they have kids and they definitely weren't ready for them, but you can tell they're doing their best. They're trying to make all the right moves and take all the right steps and everything, and like it's funny, because like for example, my roommate's watching that Apple TV show, Blackbird, the one with Taron Egerton being all swollen, he's in jail and all that stuff.
Mhm.
And like one of the things that came up was the fact that like some parents, I think some parents don't deserve children, because something that happened, like Taron Egerton, when he was growing up, with his character when he was growing up, like his mom was dating just all sorts of dudes and stuff, and she prioritized her own feelings and her own relationship before her kid. Like there are some assholes that like abused him and stuff like that. Like I'm physically abused him, not sexually or anything like that, but like, yeah, and you see and shit like that, like that shit like does something to kids as they grow up and they become adults and stuff. Some of them repeat that pattern of violence. Some of them just shut themselves off from being emotionally available to like people that need them, including their own children in the future and stuff like that. And it's yeah. So I don't know. It was one of those things like like hearing how parents like celebrate their triumphs, their strengths, and all that stuff while they raise their kids. It kind of gives me hope for humanity sometimes, because there are days when I feel like there is no hope for humanity.
Oh, yeah. I see that frequently. And that's why when I look at Nicola, I'm like, can he make that dent? And
Yeah.
I know it's like what's that Mother Teresa saying? Like, just focus on doing like small things with great love or something like that. So I don't know. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, and you know what? You definitely struck a chord with me when you were saying like what the planet that we're leaving, like these future generations, stuff like that. Because I'll be honest with you, like as a Gen Xer, someone that was born in the '70s and stuff like that, I was always environmentally conscious and stuff like that, but at the same time, like we weren't taught for the most part, like generations before us, like like to take care of this planet, and stuff like that. And now these newer generations are kind of getting it because like we actually have people that are saying, hey, like we're fucking this world up and we have to do something better about it and stuff like that. And it's just, and like this could probably be grounds for another discussion somewhere later down the road and stuff like that. But like sometimes the trespasses that like the previous generations have done to like their inbound generations, like that's some stuff that like it's hard to get past and get around. Because I mean like look at it, like we literally have the world screaming at people like saying, hey, like we're killing the planet, and then we got these old ass motherfuckers up in our highest parts of government that are like, yeah, whatever, it's all about the money.
Mm-hmm. Or like, I know deep down inside they're like, well, what if anything's gonna happen? It's not gonna be in my lifetime.
Yeah, because they already got one fucking foot in the fucking grave already and stuff like that, or like and then sometimes it's all just a front, because like not to be all government political tonight and stuff like that, like a lot of them do know that, yeah, like they are ushering in like a world that will not be sustainable for like their futures and stuff like that. But they can't get around the fact that they put up this exterior for so long that they don't fucking care about it. That even though on the inside it's eating them up and shit, but they have to like save. They have to keep that stiff upper lip and shit like that. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's an and another reason why I was thinking about this, like it even like drove home even more because you guys are listening to this in the future, but at this point, like Queen Elizabeth has passed away, and we're waiting for her funeral and all that stuff to happen and things like that. But I've been paying attention to the news and stuff for how like they've treated Prince Harry and Meghan and their two children and stuff like that. And it's telling because like these are older generations that are trespassing on not just like those grandchildren, but also Harry and Meghan, who they're technically because they're technically the grandchildren of the Queen. Well, Harry and his brother, of course, are the Queen's grandchildren, and Meghan and Harry and of course like what's the other prince? Prince William. There we go. The other, like their kids are all her great grandchildren, and it was a stark difference between how like they treated William's children versus how they were treating Harry and Meghan's children.
Which is crazy because I'm not a fan of Meghan, but that aside, treating those kids versus I don't know, the other kids, like that is so asinine, so stupid.
Yeah, it's
so
one of those. It's one of those rules. It's like if you have a problem with the parent, you take it out on the parent. You don't take it out on their children. Their children haven't been around long enough to like do anything to you that would garner that type of harsh treatment. Stuff like that.
Exactly, and like people should take a step back and think like the way we treat these children. Who knows, that might just fuck them up, and maybe I hope they don't, but like maybe they might turn into
those people that abuse their elders. They abuse their elders because Granny didn't treat them right.
Exactly. And I wanted to bring up something that you had mentioned earlier, LeRon, to delve just a little bit into again. Is I do think that it's unfortunate that you see several parents put themselves first before their children, and I think that's one of the greatest boo-boos, which I struggled with for a while of where the appropriate line is, because when I had a bit of postpartum and I struggled with my kind of like selfish needs, like what about my life? I had my kid before I was ready. I don't want to just throw away my life for this child, but it's actually not a contradiction. An adult can have a very fulfilling life for themselves and still have a child and put them first. Like I thought the two could not coexist. Granted, you have less time for yourself, but you can still have time for yourself. It's just less.
Yeah.
And I now can feel a bit better where, whatever that needs to be done for Nikolai, that goes first. If for some reason that my current relationship is not good for my son, which it hasn't been that way, but I'm just saying, say it's not, or he doesn't like him or something, I'll drop this motherfucker in a heartbeat for my son. Like,
hold on. You better find out before we start playing Monster Hunter together, because like we start playing Monster Hunter, I'll be like, Stephanie, you're keeping him. I don't care what the fuck's going on.
Oh no, he's got the seal of approval from my son. Ed said that he looked handsome.
Ed has a type. I'm just gonna say it like that.
He did say that last night. Definitely.
Yes. And I told Mark that it's like they think you're cute. He goes, thanks. No. Like, no, it's knock on wood, good. But I'm just saying, like, if I were in a situation where it just bothered my son or there was an issue, sorry, son goes first no matter what. I don't give a fuck.
For real.
But at the same time, you know what? I do have mommy time, and I insist on mommy time. So, yeah. Just not a lot. Yeah. And I do think playing video games with him is a good thing. I believe in limiting screen time and only playing video games that are age appropriate for him, but I love that bonding with him, and I actually can squeeze in little life lessons whenever I'm playing certain things, believe it or not. So it's cool.
Nice.
So which one of us in the Boss Rush family is going to get him to play Saints Row? I'm talking about one of the older Saints Rows, not this new one.
Oh, you mean like the one with the giant dildo bat?
Yeah, that's personally my favorite one.
No.
Which one was that? 3?
Saints Row the third? Yeah. No. You haven't hit the pinnacle of that game until you have to rescue somebody, and your own gang members hatch the plan of selling you to a whorehouse so you break this person out.
I mean, Saints Row is.
Well, it's funny. I was at probably a GameStop. You know, it's funny. I was dragging my son into GameStop. He's like, again? Because I take him there so many times.
Yeah.
And I saw, who knows? I'm a bad judge of age, especially for kids the way they grow now. I swear. But they're probably like 11-ish, 11-ish year old boys, and they were doing the look, it's Grand Theft Auto. Mom won't let me buy it, which it was just so obnoxious the way they were talking. But I'm like, oh, that will be me. I will not be letting my 11-year-old son play Grand Theft Auto, and he's gonna be complaining about me to his friends.
Mm.
Then he'll find somebody like me and just hack his whatever video game system.
Don't you dare, Ron.
LeRon's gonna be the cool uncle that just.
Exactly.
Well, this is why I brainwashed him with Nintendo stuff. So hopefully he'll get hooked on the kid-friendly shit. Dude, he's gonna be Link again for the third year in the row.
He's gonna be like those. He's gonna be like those Amish kids when they hit their room springer. You know that they're 2 weeks when they just go off the chain.
Wow.
That bad. Well, we'll see.
Wow.
Oh god. It's like I'm gonna have so much sex. I'm gonna drink so much beer.
Wow.
Wow. I don't.
I think that's how a room springer works. I think. I don't know.
I don't know how it works. So, sorry.
Oh, I don't know why this made me think of it. Maybe the word sex, but Nikolai was he was tugging on his unit today on his way to the shower, and this isn't new. Like he's been pulling at it, punching it, doing whatever he can do with it since he came out of me. It's just, I guess that's what I learned. It's what boys do.
Yeah, it's what boys do. We eventually learn to respect it.
I did, but I threw out a comment. I'm like, Nikolai, why do you have to keep pulling at it? He goes, well, it's my private part. I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, you know what? Fine. Just don't do it in front of, like, in the public because it might make other people uncomfortable. He goes, okay. But it's just funny how he's like, it's my private part. I'm like, look at you talking like a sassy pants.
Who's punching it?
Trust me, he's been doing things to his unit that I ask him sometimes. I'm like, does that hurt? He goes, no. I'm like, okay.
It's because his balls haven't dropped yet.
Yeah.
That all changes as soon as those happen.
Trust me, it's been very educational having a son.
Oh, man. Kids.
Do you have hope for humanity, Corey, with your children?
I don't know. I would like to think so, but I hope so. I don't know. I think like honestly, I think as much shit as we give this generation below us, right? Like I feel like overall the world is trying to do better in certain areas, although like it doesn't seem that way when you're on social media or watching the news or whatever. Like I feel like the awareness of stuff like racism and accessibility and mental health and like all these things that were like, for better or worse, frowned upon when we were younger or our parents were younger. Like, I feel like all that kind of stuff is kind of coming to a head and is actually like, for every 10 whiny babies on the internet, there's like one person out there who's actually like committed to the message and doing it the right way,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and I think that one person does a lot more for that than like the 10 whiny babies on the internet. So yeah, I mean, I think there is hope. I think we just have to guide our kids that way, and make sure they're doing it the right way and not becoming the outspoken minority on the internet, because I mean, for as we kind of like we support each other, we're all different, right? Like, we're all different races and orientations and religions or non-religions, or you know what I mean, like but we're all, I think we're all trying to come to the same goal and just kind of like treat everybody the same, even though we're all different, right? And
Well, yeah, because ultimately we are the same. Like, we're all humans. We're same in that respect. So we're more similar than we are different. It's just that for whatever reason, the masses tend to hyper focus on the small, stupid difference that we have.
Yeah, and like I hope we can get to a point where like what we look like or who we love or what we believe in, just it doesn't matter anymore. I think if we it's funny because like my nephews are half black, and like they like my daughter doesn't see that yet, like, and like I am kind of scared in the day where she learns about that, that kind of stuff. But like part of me is just like maybe this is just me being naive to everything because I don't probably deal with it like the way that you guys do, right? Being non-white people, right? But like I don't really want her to see that ever, like how do we get to that, and obviously people like once they get older they're gonna figure out that like my daughter is paler than my sweatshirt right now and my nephews are brown and whatever, but like and visually she's just gonna see that and probably start asking questions at one point, but like
Questions will be asked. I mean, I didn't tell this story. So one of my son's friends, he takes the bus with her and takes karate class with her. She has two fathers. Lovely married couple. Great house, beautiful yard, great family. But I guess, we just never really had any kind of discussion of family dynamics because why 6, like that's never come up before. I don't even think I've used the divorce word in front of my son as far as our own dynamic, but we were all sitting at a table and she's like, that's my dad, and he's in the other father's like, and I'm also the dad. So I goes, wait, you 2 dads? And I'm like, I immediately I just said it as nonchalantly as possible. Like, yes, she has 2 fathers. She has 2 dads. And I figured that had to be the best response I could think of, but it just dawned on me. And I was embarrassed. Like, Nikolai wasn't saying it in a mean way. Like, he was just genuinely did not know that there's such a thing yet.
There was a combination. Yeah.
Well, he hasn't just stumbled upon it yet. All he's seen are mothers and fathers in a marriage. And now I'm like kind of, I don't know if I'm like hyper focused and I'm hyper aware of the awkwardness. Like, I don't want Nikolai to offend them.
Yeah.
But it is coming from a place of innocence. I was just like, whoa, I have not had.
I think you came at it the right way. I think you did. Like, you didn't make it a spectacle or anything, like, I think you did all right.
Just.
Yeah. No. Trust me. I know when people are being, I guess, what's a good way to say it? Like when they're being hyper focused on something versus like when they're genuinely just trying to teach.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think a lot of parents get caught up in the weeds of that, because like I get it. Like this world that we live in, like it's it's like especially the United States. It's still called the greatest experiment in the world, basically because like we have all these races, all these cultures, all these different things going on, and it's one of those things we have to navigate, which is why like not to make it all like racist and everything, but white nationalism. Jesus Christ, come on, y'all.
Racist.
Come on, y'all.
Ooh,
Come on, y'all. Just like I don't know where people are thinking like the religion of the United States is Christianity. Like, because I'm like, Christianity just ain't Christianity. Like, there's so many different parts of Christianity. It's like, which Christianity are we? Are we Catholics? Are we this? Are we that? Which part are we? But I'm not gonna. It's just really funny. Like, we have people who are so worried about political correctness that like they wind up breaking the rules of being politically correct and trying to stay politically correct. It's like, come on, guys. It's not that hard. We just think, is it something that would hurt you, your mother, your daughter, if it were leveled at you the way you're doing it? And you got the lesson.
well said, LeRon. Very well said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So sometimes I think you just you look at people and it's hard because like you look at the way like the election went, right, and like half of America voted one way and half the other, almost right down the middle, but like you have to believe there are more good people out there than bad, right? Like I feel like you just can't, because I think once you give up on that kind of hope, at least, like you start leaning the other direction, and like I don't want to live in a world where you give up on hope,
Mm-hmm.
as cheesy as that sounds, or as naive as that might sound.
No, I agree. I was an idealist when I was a youngin. An optimist and idealist. That's been shattered to a bajillion pieces, and I'm quite the sarcastic, dry pessimist. However, I can't 100% let go, because I cannot see myself living like as a nihilist?
Yeah.
I need to have that little strand of hope. Life may be a hot dumpster fire, but I feel like if I don't hang on to that hope, there's no more motivation to strive to be good. And if everybody were to give up, then we all lose. Not to be cheesy, too.
Yeah. It's, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of people that are in our kind of circle right here, that there's a lot of good people that we work with and are friends with, and I see a lot of the time on other shows sometimes, and people on other shows or on the internet or on Twitter or whatever, they preach so hard to be better to other people, and then you talk to them and the first thing out of their mouth is them talking shit about somebody else, or like
Yeah.
saying X show is worse than Y show because of this, and this, or this creator is terrible, and this creator, what is he, how does he even have a following? And it's like, come on, like, you practice what you preach on the internet, like, don't just get in here in a call or in a room or on Twitter and just like bash people when you're saying, you can't talk out of both sides of your mouth, And I've really worked hard at eliminating those people from either my life or my feeds or that kind of thing, like I've tried to, and it's not that I like am what is it, what do you say when like ignorance is bliss, right? Like it's not that I know that that stuff's out there, right? It's not that like I'm trying to ignore it. It's just like I feel like if I have a more positive experience somewhere, I can do a better job of providing more positivity, or at least try. And I know I'm not always the most positive person, you know, but it doesn't mean I'm not trying to be,
Mhm.
you know. And I know even on this show, like I've had moments where I'm like not proud of something I've said or done or whatever, but that's life. You're gonna make mistakes, and I think probably I would say like 95% of people who make mistakes probably deserve a second chance at some
Yeah.
point, you know.
Yeah, agreed.
Now,
Mhm.
granted, if you like murdered or raped someone, like maybe not, right? But
I did not hear that last sentence.
Yeah,
I'm
no, like
going
you
to
cut
Ron.
out. You cut out
did I
completely.
cut out? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I said maybe if you like murder or rape someone, maybe you don't get a second chance. But I think a lot of people make like there's a lot of good people out there who maybe stumble and do a bad thing, and
Mhm.
I think it's okay to give people a second chance. And,
Oh yeah.
you know.
There are definitely like a small handful of things that I look back and I'm like, that was a blatantly stupid, bad decision, bad stuff. But I'm like, you know
Yeah.
what? It's not murder or assault, so that's good. But it's as long as you turn that into a lesson, because mistakes are here to teach us. If one were technically to make zero mistakes, you don't learn or grow in any way, shape, or form. So
Mhm.
what I did for some of my really boneheaded decisions, I took them seriously. I accepted the consequences, because that's another thing. Like you gotta what's the saying? I don't know, but just accept the consequences, learn from it, grow, and be a better person.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah,
want
for real.
to teach my son that too. A lot of these things, I don't even know how the heck I'm going to teach these or instill these values into my son. So I'm just going to start with trying to be my best version of myself, because kids will mimic their parents
Mm-hmm.
to a certain degree, if not a lot of degrees.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
So
right.
I just you know, I hope we can get back to a place where people aren't afraid to make a mistake or aren't afraid to say things that they feel, right? Because they're afraid they're going to get canceled or shunned from a group of people or whatever. Because at the end of the day, I think, like, yeah, of course, there's certain things you probably shouldn't say out loud, right? Like, I don't know, something super racist or something to that effect. But, you know, I think if you don't like something or you have an opinion that's different from someone else's, I think you should be able to voice something or
Mhm.
you know, at least be out there not being afraid to be yourself. And I feel like we've gotten to this point where everybody is just kind of afraid to be themselves again. And
Yep.
you know, but you know, I mean there's it's hard because like I don't want people to take that the wrong way either and being like, well, if you're super racist, you shouldn't be yourself. I'm like, well, yeah, that's you know, you should probably check yourself there. But I hope the majority of the people that are listening to this get what I'm saying when I say that. Which I think they do. I think our audience knows.
All right.
Sorry, I went on a little rant.
Well, that's good talk tonight.
Yeah,
I feel-
thank you so much.
Yeah, I feel like this is you know, even though we talked about some serious stuff, I feel like this is very lighthearted. You know, like because I'm you know, like I said, I want to get some type of perspective from people I know who are actual parents and stuff like that. You know.
No, it's a feel good topic. It's an inspiring topic. Still got very serious tones to it, and I'm really glad. And I'm sure, I don't know if Corey's the same way or not, but I'm sure, LeRon, you know, lots of parents just love talking about their kids. So
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I can't help it. It's like verbal diarrhea, man. Once I start, I can't stop gushing about my little stinky.
My kid drew a picture,
Cuteness.
guys. It's a little purple person.
All right, well, we're gonna go ahead and get on up out of here. I want to thank everyone for hanging out and listening to us tonight here at Boss Rush After Dark. Before we head out, you know what time it is. Hey guys, like, let everyone know where they can find you at. Corey, you go first tonight.
You can find me at I am Corey HT on Twitter and Instagram, and you can find me on the Boss Rush podcast and various other things here on the Boss Rush Network.
All right, Stephanie, go.
People can find me on the internets on Twitter and Instagram at @Klimov_author. Articles on BossRush.net, Wednesday nights on the Boss Rush podcast, and occasionally on Standard Definition with the Disney episodes. I forgot that Tokyo Game Show is starting tomorrow.
Oh, that's right.
You know, I'm not going to be super on it like every second, but I am very curious in particular or intrigued on Friday. Friday is when Konami will be.
Yeah. Also, isn't Square supposed to be pulling out some stuff too?
They're showing Final Fantasy 16. It just Wario64 tweeted it out 11 minutes ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
So I feel like there's going to be a big week for new gaming news. So
Good.
As if we didn't have enough this week already.
I know. Maybe that's what it was too. Everybody was trying to get it in before Tokyo Game Show. Who knows? But
Yeah.
I will say this because it was said somewhere. It was said somewhere in one of the Boss Rush chats that, you know, like it's kind of like we're now getting our E3. You know? Yeah.
Silent Hill will never happen. No, I'm kidding.
I'm gonna tell Soy said that.
I kind of hope they show off more Final Fantasy VII remake also, or what's it called? What's the
Oh
new
yeah,
one
yeah.
called?
The second part. Yeah.
What's the second one called? I forget.
I forget something. It's got
It's something, because the first one is remake. Crisis Core's Reunion.
Rebirth.
Yeah. I really want to play that game. I know we kind of already talked about it on Boss Rush, but
All right, and as always, you can find me practically everywhere, but just looking up Exodus 803. So Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch. If you're trying to find someone to hang out with in the gaming sphere, PlayStation Network as well as the Steam ID, it's all there. And
LeRon will be streaming what again?
The Dead Space trilogy starting real soon here.
Yeah.
I think I'm
Yep, I'm
gonna
gonna actually get through it this time because we got Callisto Protocol coming up in December and Dead Space remake in January 2023. So yes, I am ready. I'm ready to get my survival horror on. And then, hey, wait, doesn't Resident Evil 4 remake come out in February?
Mhm.
January, February, yes.
Oh boy,
Oh yeah, it's gonna be
it's gonna
spooky.
be a fun time. Yeah. All right. Well,
Ron's
that's
gonna
it.
need to be subscribing to that poop word of the day because he's gonna be pooping his pants.
All right, well, that's it from us here tonight at Boss Rush After Dark. As always, thank you again for listening, and we love you. Take care of yourselves out there, and just remember, this is Boss Rush After Dark, the show where we talk about things that are not always content appropriate for our anchor shows. Take care of yourselves. Be good. For you parents out there, continue raising those wonderful human beings that will run our world one day. Hopefully, if we don't burn it down to the fucking ground first.
Yeah.
Right.
Good night, everyone.
Burn it down. Just kidding.
Seriously, LeRon, that was a wonderful